Hey there, welcome back to Story Slices, where we slice through the best Reddit tales just for you. Let's dive right into the first story. The first one is the Tittle story, and it starts like this. It was a peaceful Saturday morning when my world suddenly turned upside down. I was enjoying my coffee on the back porch, listening to the birds chirp and watching the sun slowly climb higher in the sky. My quiet suburban neighborhood was just starting to wake up. I could hear a lawnmower buzzing in the distance and kids laughing as they played in a nearby yard. Little did I know that in just a few minutes, my serene weekend would be shattered by an unexpected and completely unwarranted intrusion. I had just taken another sip of coffee when I heard aggressive knocking at my front door. Frowning, I set down my mug and made my way inside, wondering who could be visiting so early and so insistently. As I approached the door, I could see several figures through the frosted glass panel. My confusion turned to alarm as I realized they were dressed in what looked like tactical gear. For a split second, I wondered if I should even open the door, but curiosity got the better of me, and I cautiously turned the handle. The moment I cracked the door open, it was shoved inward forcefully. I stumbled backward as four men in black uniforms stormed into my foyer. They had Homeowner Association enforcement emblazoned across their backs in bold white letters. "What the hell?" I shouted, my heart racing. "Who are you? What are you doing in my house?" The apparent leader of the group, a tall man with a crew cut, stepped forward and thrust a piece of paper at me. "We're here to collect overdue homeowner association fees," he barked. "You're behind by $3,500, and we're here to place a lien on your property." I stared at him in utter disbelief. "Homeowner association fees? What are you talking about? I'm not even part of an homeowner association." The man's eyes narrowed. "Don't play dumb with us. Everyone in Sunny Meadows is part of the homeowner association. You can't just decide not to join." "Sunny Meadows? This isn't Sunny Meadows," I retorted, my confusion giving way to anger. "This is Oak Ridge. You're in the wrong neighborhood entirely." The enforcers exchanged uncertain glances. Their leader's face reddened, but he pressed on. "Nice try, but we know exactly where we are. Now, are you going to pay up, or do we need to start assessing your property for the lien?" I could feel my blood pressure rising. "Listen carefully," I said, trying to keep my voice steady. "I am not part of any homeowner association. This is not Sunny Meadows. You are trespassing in my home and I'm about 5 seconds away from calling the police." One of the other men spoke up hesitantly. Sir, I think we might have made a mistake. The street signs outside, they do say Oak Ridge." The leader whirled on him. "Shut up, Johnson. We don't make mistakes." He turned back to me, jabbing a finger in my face. "You're trying to pull a fast one, but it won't work. Show us your deed." "Now?" I was about to tell him where he could stick his demands when my wife Lisa came down the stairs looking alarmed. "Honey, what's going on? Who are these men?" Before I could answer, the lead enforcer rounded on her. "Ma'am, we're from the Sunny Meadows Homeowner Association. Your husband is refusing to pay overdue fees and is being uncooperative." Lisa's brow furrowed in confusion. "Sunny Meadows? But we don't live in Sunny Meadows. We've never even heard of it." I jumped in. "That's what I've been trying to tell them. They barged in here claiming we owe money to an homeowner association we're not even part of." The enforcer's face was turning an alarming shade of purple. "Enough of this. Johnson, Phillips, start cataloging valuables for the lien. We'll sort this out back at the office." "Like hell you will," I shouted, stepping in front of them. "You are not touching anything in my house. Get out now before I call the cops." "Go ahead and call them," the leader sneered. "They'll back us up. Homeowner associations have authority to enter homes for non-payment." Lisa, always the voice of reason, stepped between us with her hands raised. "Okay, let's all calm down for a moment. There's clearly been some kind of misunderstanding. Why don't we look at our deed together and sort this out?" I started to protest, not wanting to cooperate with these home invaders at all, but Lisa gave me a look that said trust me, so I bit my tongue. "Fine," I growled. "The deed is in my office, but you're not going anywhere in this house without me." I led the group to my home office, fuming the whole way. My mind was racing, trying to figure out how this insane situation had come about. We'd lived in this house for over 5 years without any issues. How could they possibly think we were part of some random homeowner association? In my office, I pulled out our property records from the filing cabinet and spread them on the desk. "There," I said, pointing to the clearly marked address. 845, Oakwood Drive, Oak Ridge, not Sunny Meadows. The enforcer leaned in, squinting at the document. His face slowly drained of color as he read. "See?" I pressed. "We are not in your jurisdiction. We do not owe you a single penny. Now get the hell out of my house before I have you all arrested for breaking and entering." The man straightened up, looking decidedly less sure of himself. There must be some mistake," he muttered. "You're damn right there's a mistake," I shot back. "The mistake is you idiots not bothering to check what neighborhood you're in before raiding someone's home." Lisa put a calming hand on my arm. "I think what my husband means is that this has clearly been a misunderstanding, but I'm sure we can sort it out peacefully." The enforcer cleared his throat awkwardly. "Yes, well, it seems there may have been an error in our records. We'll need to investigate further back at the office." "Oh no," I said, my voice dripping with sarcasm. "You don't get to just say oops and walk away after this. You broke into our home and threatened us. There are going to be consequences." The man's eyes narrowed again. "Are you threatening me?" I laughed humorlessly. "Threatening you? That's rich coming from the guy who stormed into my house with a goon squad on a Saturday morning." "No, I'm not threatening you. I'm promising you that I will be pursuing every legal avenue available to me after this little stunt." The enforcer's face hardened. "We were operating in good faith based on the information we had. You can't prove we did anything wrong." "Can't prove it?" I gestured to the security camera in the corner of my office. "That camera has been recording this whole time, genius. I've got you on video illegally entering my home and attempting to extort money from me. How do you think that's going to play out in court?" The color drained from the man's face as he glanced at the blinking camera. He turned to his team. "We're leaving. Now?" As they filed out of my office, I followed close behind. "Don't think this is over," I called after them. "You'll be hearing from my lawyer very soon." The front door slammed shut behind them, leaving Lisa and me standing in stunned silence in our foyer. After a moment, she turned to me with wide eyes. "What in the world just happened?" she asked. I shook my head, still trying to process it all myself. "I have no idea, but I'm about to find out." Over the next few hours, I was a man on a mission. I called the police to file a report about the illegal entry. I reviewed and backed up the security footage. I reached out to a lawyer friend for advice. And I started digging into this mysterious Sunny Meadows Homeowner Association. What I uncovered was both infuriating and almost comical in its incompetence. It turned out that Sunny Meadows was a new development on the other side of town. They had hired an overzealous management company to run their homeowner association, and that company had royally screwed up their record-keeping. They had somehow confused Oak Ridge and Sunny Meadows in their database, leading to the raid on my house. But the incompetence didn't stop there. As I dug deeper, I discovered that this wasn't an isolated incident. The Sunny Meadows Homeowner Association had been terrorizing homeowners across multiple neighborhoods with similar strong-arm tactics, all based on faulty data. My lawyer friend was practically salivating when I filled him in on the details. "This is a goldmine," he told me. "We're talking major violations of property rights, illegal entry, attempted extortion. And if it's happened to others too, we could be looking at a class action suit." I spent the next week gathering evidence and connecting with other victims of the Sunny Meadows Homeowner Association's reign of terror. The stories I heard made my blood boil. Elderly residents bullied into paying fees they didn't owe. Families threatened with foreclosure over imaginary violations. It was clear that this homeowner association had to be stopped. With a solid case built, my lawyer filed suit against the Sunny Meadows Homeowner Association, their management company, and the individual enforcers who had entered my home. The local media caught wind of the story, and suddenly I found myself thrust into the spotlight as the face of the anti-homeowner association resistance. The day we served the homeowner association with papers was one I'll never forget. I insisted on delivering them personally, wanting to see the look on that smug enforcer's face. When we arrived at their office, he was there behind the front desk, looking decidedly less intimidating in a polo shirt and khakis. His eyes widened in recognition as I approached. Before he could speak, I slapped the thick envelope down on the counter. "Remember me?" I asked with a grim smile. "You've been served. See you in court?" The color drained from his face as he picked up the envelope with trembling hands. I turned on my heel and walked out, feeling a deep sense of satisfaction. The legal battle that followed was long and complex, but ultimately decisive. As more and more victims came forward, the scale of the homeowner association's misconduct became clear. They had been operating far outside their authority, using intimidation tactics to bully people into compliance. In the end, the judge ruled overwhelmingly in our favor. The Sunny Meadows Homeowner Association was dissolved. Their management company was hit with massive fines, and the individual enforcers faced criminal charges for their actions. As for me and the other victims, we were awarded a substantial settlement. It didn't erase the stress and violation we had experienced, but it was a powerful statement that homeowners have rights that can't be trampled on by overzealous homeowner associations. In the aftermath of the case, I found myself becoming something of an advocate for homeowner association reform. I started a blog sharing my experience and offering advice to others dealing with abusive homeowners associations. I even testified before the state legislature in support of a bill to increase oversight of homeowner associations and protect homeowners' rights. Looking back on that Saturday morning when my home was invaded, I never could have imagined where it would lead. What started as a terrifying and infuriating experience turned into a fight for justice that had far-reaching consequences. These days, when I sit on my back porch enjoying my morning coffee, I have a new appreciation for the peace and security of my home. And I smile knowing that thanks to our efforts, many other homeowners can feel that same sense of security, free from the threat of overzealous homeowner associations. The whole ordeal taught me an important lesson. Sometimes you have to stand up and fight, not just for yourself, but for what's right. It wasn't easy, and there were moments when I wondered if it was worth all the stress and effort. But in the end, seeing justice served and knowing we had made a real difference made it all worthwhile. As for the Sunny Meadows enforcers, last I heard, they were facing their own legal troubles. Turns out, raiding people's homes and trying to extort money doesn't look good on a resume. I can't say I feel too sorry for them. In the years since our legal victory, I've continued to advocate for homeowners' rights. The blog I started has grown into a popular resource for people dealing with homeowner association issues across the country. I've been invited to speak at conferences, and have even written a book about our experience and the broader issues surrounding homeowner association abuse. But more importantly, our case sparked a national conversation about the unchecked power of some homeowner associations. Several states have passed new laws strengthening homeowner protections and increasing homeowner association accountability. It's not a perfect system yet, but it's a start. I often think about how differently things could have gone if I had just given in that day, if I had been too intimidated to stand up to those enforcers. It's a reminder that sometimes, one person standing up can make a real difference. So if you're ever faced with injustice, whether it's from an homeowner association or any other entity that thinks it can bully you into submission, remember this: you have rights. Don't be afraid to stand up for them. You never know, your fight might just change things for the better, not just for you, but for countless others as well. As for me, I'm happy to say that these days, the only unexpected visitors I get on Saturday mornings are the neighborhood kids selling cookies for their school fundraiser. And let me tell you, I'll take that over an homeowner association raid any day of the week. Update. It's been 5 years since that fateful Saturday morning when the Sunny Meadows Homeowner Association enforcers barged into my home. A lot has changed since then, and I think it's time for an update on how things turned out. After our initial legal victory, we thought the battle was over. But as it turns out, dismantling an abusive homeowner association system is a bit like trying to get rid of a particularly stubborn weed. Just when you think you've pulled it out by the roots, it pops up somewhere else. About a year after the court case, started hearing rumors that some of the former Sunny Meadows Homeowner Association board members were trying to start up a new association in a different neighborhood. They were using a different name, of course, but their tactics sounded eerily familiar. I got a call from Sarah, one of the other homeowners who had been part of our class action suit. "Have you heard about this new Paradise Pines Homeowner Association?" she asked, her voice tight with worry. "It sounds like our old friends are up to their old tricks." I sighed, feeling a mixture of frustration and determination. "Thanks for letting me know, Sarah. I'll look into it." And look into it I did. With the help of some of the contacts I'd made during our previous legal battle, we started gathering information. Sure enough, the Paradise Pines Homeowner Association was using many of the same aggressive tactics that had gotten Sunny Meadows in trouble. I called up my lawyer friend, Mike, to get his take on the situation. "They're being more careful this time," he told me after reviewing the evidence we'd gathered. "They're staying just within the letter of the law, but they're still pushing the boundaries of what's ethical." "So what can we do?" I asked, frustrated. "We can't just sit back and watch them start this whole cycle over again." Mike was quiet for a moment. "Well," he said slowly, "we might not be able to take legal action right away, but we can definitely make some noise. How do you feel about going public with this?" That's how I found myself sitting in a TV studio preparing for my first live interview. The local news had picked up on our story, and they were eager to hear from the homeowner association whistleblower, as they'd started calling me. As the camera red light blinked on, the interviewer smiled at me. "So, Mr. Johnson, you say that the people behind the notorious Sunny Meadows Homeowner Association are back at it again. What evidence do you have?" I leaned forward, trying to project confidence despite my nerves. "We've gathered testimonies from multiple homeowners in the Paradise Pines development. They report the same kind of aggressive fee collection, arbitrary rule enforcement, and intimidation tactics that we saw with Sunny Meadows. We've also traced the paperwork and found direct links between Paradise Pines leadership and former Sunny Meadows board members." The interview went on, with me laying out our concerns and calling for stricter oversight of homeowner associations. By the time it was over, my palms were sweaty, but I felt like I'd gotten our message across. The response was immediate and overwhelming. My phone started ringing off the hook with calls from other news outlets, homeowners' rights groups, and even a few politicians interested in the issue. But not all the attention was positive. A few days after the interview, I got a cease and desist letter from a law firm representing Paradise Pines. They accused me of defamation and threatened legal action if I didn't retract my statements. I'll admit, for a moment I considered backing down. The thought of going through another long legal battle was exhausting. But then I remembered all the people who had been victimized by these homeowner association bullies, and I knew I couldn't give up. I called Mike again. "They're trying to scare us into silence," I told him. "What should we do?" Mike's response was immediate and reassuring. "Don't worry. This is a classic intimidation tactic. They're hoping you'll back down, but they don't have a leg to stand on. Everything you said was either factual or clearly stated as your opinion. We'll respond and make it clear that we're not backing down." True to his word, Mike drafted a strongly worded response, essentially telling Paradise Pines to bring it on if they thought they had a case. They never followed through with their lawsuit threat. Instead, our public campaign started to gain real traction. Other homeowners in Paradise Pines started speaking out, emboldened by our example. Local politicians, sensing a popular issue, started proposing new regulations on homeowner association practices. About 6 months after our TV appearance, I got a call from State Senator Linda Martinez. "Mr. Johnson," she said, "I've been following your work on homeowner association reform. We're putting together a task force to draft new legislation, and we'd like you to be part of it. Are you interested?" I was floored. This was a chance to make real, lasting change. "Absolutely," I told her. "When do we start?" The next few months were a whirlwind of meetings, research, and negotiations. We pored over existing laws, studied best practices from other states, and listened to testimony from homeowners and homeowner association representatives alike. It wasn't easy. The homeowner association lobby pushed back hard, arguing that any new regulations would make it impossible for them to maintain neighborhood standards. But we stood our ground, backed by the stories of countless homeowners who had suffered under abusive homeowner association practices. Finally, after what felt like endless revisions and debates, we had a bill. The Homeowners Protection Act would require homeowner associations to have clear, written procedures for fee collection and rule enforcement. It would limit their ability to place liens on homes, require regular financial audits, and establish a state board to oversee homeowner association practices and handle complaints. The day the bill went to vote, I sat in the gallery of the state capitol, my heart pounding. As the votes were tallied, I held my breath. And then finally, the announcement: the ayes have it. The bill passes? I couldn't help it. I let out a whoop of joy, earning me a few stern looks from the more dignified observers around me. But I didn't care. We had done it. In the aftermath of the bill's passage, things moved quickly. Paradise Pines, faced with the prospect of actual oversight, quickly changed their tune. They replaced their board, revised their policies, and even reached out to apologize to some of the homeowners they had pressured. As for me, I found myself in demand as a consultant, helping other states draft similar legislation. My blog turned into a full-fledged nonprofit, dedicated to educating homeowners about their rights and advocating for fair homeowner association practices. It's been a long journey from that Saturday morning invasion to where we are now. There are still challenges, of course. Some homeowner associations still try to push the boundaries, and we're constantly working to refine and improve the laws. But when I look back at how far we've come, I can't help but feel proud, not just of myself, but of all the homeowners who stood up, spoke out, and refused to be bullied. Last week, I got a letter from a homeowner in another state. "Thank you," it read. "Because of your work, I had the courage to stand up to my homeowner association when they tried to fine me unfairly. They backed down, and now we're working together to make our neighborhood better for everyone." Letters like that make all the hard work worth it. It's a reminder that when we stand up for what's right, we can make a real difference, not just for ourselves, but for people we may never even meet. So if you're facing your own battle, whether it's with an homeowner association or any other group that thinks they can push you around, remember this: you're not alone. Stand firm, know your rights, and don't be afraid to fight for what's right. You never know how many people you might end up helping along the way. As for me, I'm looking forward to many more peaceful Saturday mornings on my porch, enjoying my coffee without any fear of unexpected invasions. And that, my friends, is a victory worth savoring. The next one is an entitled people story. So basically, my boyfriend and I decided to have a wedding this August after 8 years of being together. We never cared too much to rush because we've been living together for 6 years anyways. But we decided to rush it since my great-grandma is turning 101 this year, and stepmom has cancer. So it was possible neither could be around if we wait. Turns out wedding planning is so hard. For some background, I am a nearly full-time caregiver to my stepmom, so I am very busy. I've been putting off planning for a while. I already have venue location. It's all at grandma's house, dress, catering, and guest list invited. But other than that, I have no idea how to plan a wedding, what should happen at a wedding, etc. I'll have about 65 people in attendance. Basically, I'm just wondering if anyone has some advice for me, words of encouragement, their own stories, or maybe ideas to include for the wedding, etc. I am so excited yet so unprepared. Budget is $5,000, but I have about $4,000 left for it. So the wedding is this weekend, in 2 days. We rushed it for my stepmom who has end-stage multiple myeloma. She has just been admitted to the hospital with level 3 neurotoxicity from chemo, and might not even make it through the weekend. I know she would want me to go on with the wedding. She helped me plan it through every step. I just don't know how I'd be able to. I'm just wondering if anyone here has been through similar and has words of encouragement for me. I can't cancel. If she pulls through this, she would be so mad at me if I did. I just know if she dies the day before or the day of, I will be a mess and pulling off a whole wedding will feel impossible. Update, update, update. The nurses and techs are throwing us a wedding right now. They decorated the room and are all lined up to be our guests. She is in active dying phase. Today is the real wedding. The show must go on. Attached is my original Reddit post and the update I posted to my Instagram. She held on until 3 a.m. the morning after my wedding. It was the most beautiful and heartbreaking day of my life. It was a miracle that she survived until the day was over, and a miracle that the whole day was beautiful and sunny after a hurricane blew through the day before. It was supposed to rain, but it didn't. It was an outdoor wedding and the hurricane would have canceled it. I got to marry the love of my life since we were teenagers in front of everyone I loved. It was beautiful. Thank you to everyone who was so supportive in my original post. You helped me stay strong and push through. I am going to miss her so much. My stepmom died this morning around 3 a.m. She fought and made it until the wedding day was over. She put so much effort into making this day so special for me. She was so excited to watch us get married. She wasn't fully there the morning of our wedding, but we went and the chaplain put on a small wedding for us in front of my dad, brothers and all the nurses who loved her so much. We put her in the dress she picked out. We had a wonderful wedding, later surrounded by my family. It was sunny despite the hurricane the day before. It was perfect. She held on until everyone was home and comfortable in their beds. I'll miss her forever. Are you hungry for more slices of stories? Don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell to never miss out on any videos. See you tomorrow at Story Slices.